Hey everybody, this is Hannah, and you guys left questions in my Ask, so that I would make a video of questions, and here I am in front of the camera, and I'm a little nervous about it, so I am incognito. Uh, and I want to jump right in, because I don't want this to be super long, because I don't want you to suffer through me just being awkward for forever. So we're going to start with, Maddie asked for a selection of musical artists I do not care for. And I do not care for Taylor Swift. I don't care for pop country in general, but especially Taylor Swift because she's made a fail. I do not care for Rihanna, which I feel kind of bad about because everything that happened to her vis-a-vis Chris Brown is really shitty. And I want to be able to, stand by her and stuff, but I hate her music. I'm sorry, Rihanna. I'm sorry you have to deal with that shit, but I mean, is it enough that I just don't ever buy any Chris Brown records ever again? Please? Please forgive me. I do not care for the Doors, and I'm not going to elaborate on that point because the internet will probably skewer me, but I don't like the Doors. My favorite household chore is definitely vacuuming. It's like I get to dance around the room, and it counts as cleaning, and it's loud so I can sing while I'm doing it and people won't judge as harshly, maybe. So yeah, basically vacuuming because it's like show choir. Television programs that I love but have gotten shit for liking include nerdery like Buffy and Star Trek in all of its many iterations. I'm not a very big Enterprise fan, but I'm working through rewatching Deep Space Nine for the first time since it was originally on TV, and it's pretty hysterical still. So, I don't know, anything that people are like, you're a geek, you watch that, I'm like, I'm sorry that your life is empty and pointless. I also get crap for watching Archer, generally from my feminist friends, but I think Archer is very feminist in some surprising ways, and if you would like me to elaborate on that point, feel free, but again, I don't want this video to be 4 hours long. So that's a conversation we can have, internet, if you would like. Oh, oh my god, I should write a paper, except I'm not in school anymore. Okay, so TV, that was TV programs, and then Maddie asked a really interesting question. What is the best retro/nostalgic cartoon in my opinion? And I was having a lot of difficulty making retro/nostalgic like one thing. So I think the best retro cartoon is the original Scooby-Doo. That's held up really, really well into my adult life. And like it's still hysterical, it's hysterical in new ways, it's super funny, and it is occasionally still scary. Like it was terrifying when I was a kid. But like there are things that are still like, whoa, that's a little creepy. In the original Scooby-Doo. Also, none of this Scrappy-Doo crap, none of this newfangled Scooby-Doo BS. It's gotta be old school. And then from a nostalgic point of view, I would really have to say Recess. I used to get up and watch Recess with my siblings all the time, and my siblings were fabulous, and I miss them. And I used to watch it with friends, and Recess is also still really funny into my adulthood. So, Recess. It's good. This next question is, do I prefer the pool or the beach? And in the interest of full disclosure, part of my decision on this is informed by a deep and abiding fear of water monsters. I think when I was little, I saw the episode of Fraggle Rock where they meet the last of the lily creatures, which is this like sea monster dragon thing, and it really made an impression on me, and I remember being a little kid and being afraid that it would come out of the toilet if I stayed on the toilet for too long. So, yeah, lake monsters freak me out. So the pros of the pool is that it has no monsters, generally, and you can usually determine that because it has clear water and a visible bottom. However, the beach is so gorgeous. Going to the beach is like a spiritual experience for me. It's like this humanistic, like, connected to humanity thing. Like, I put my foot in the ocean, and there are people on every continent in the world, because we say there are all these different oceans, they're all the same ocean. So, like, I put my foot in the Pacific, and people across the world have their feet in the same ocean that I do. Like, that's so cool! I geek out about that. Plus, there's seaweed and shells and stuff, so despite the fact that I could be eaten by Jaws or Cthulhu, I really love the beach, more so than the pool. Also, the chemicals hurt in the pool, whereas salt is just salty and awesome. And I really liked this next question, which is, I can cook my soulmate a dish to express my undying love for them. What is the dish? And I would have to go with, I make a mean variation on my great-grandmother's cabbage roll, Polish cabbage roll recipe. I make them vegan, but it is basically the recipe that came over with my great-grandmother on the boat from Europe. So, I don't know, it's just this really nostalgic, deep, meaningful dish for me, and my soulmate would appreciate that, I think. And, I mean, I don't think I can have a soulmate that doesn't like cabbage rolls, because, I mean, I can usually only eat like half of one, and so I would need someone to eat the other half for me. They're just really filling. Like that. Next question from Amber. What are 3 fears I have about changing my physical appearance? Examples she gave were losing teeth, hair falling out, wrinkles, etc. I'm really freaked out about potentially losing my teeth. Once when I was a little kid, I didn't brush my teeth before I went to bed, and my dad asked if I enjoyed the feeling of my teeth rotting in my mouth, and since then I've brushed my teeth like 2 or 3 times a day, which is actually more than you're supposed to. I come from a long line of dentists, and I know that it's more than you're supposed to. However, teeth falling out. I mean, look at these. And, like, a hole in, like, soft exposed tissue instead is just a horrible thing for me to contemplate, and so I hate that idea. But beyond teeth falling out, I mean, especially with, like, aging stuff, I'm not worried about wrinkles, I'm not worried about sagging. It really happens to everybody. What I'm more afraid of is bunions, and or having my knees replaced. My grandmother had both of her knees replaced before she died, and my mom has already had to have bunion surgery on both of her feet, so I'm a little freaked out about both of those things, even though those aren't, like, physical appearance things. They are physical. Mostly with aging, what I'm afraid of is not being able to take care of myself and a loss of independence, rather than an actual physical thing. I mean, the physicality of aging doesn't freak me out that much. Like, I'm already hideous. Like, I'm not gonna get, how much uglier can I get, right? So finally, we're gonna wrap up with a description of my ideal room in detail, if cost were not a factor. And it would be pretty spacious. I would have stained glass up toward, like, by the ceiling. I'd have tall ceilings. I like these a lot. But I would have stained glass, as well as regular windows, and plenty of them. I like sunlight sometimes, and I really, really like fresh air circulating, which is lacking in this room, unfortunately. And I would have a bay window where I keep my roll-top desk and my typewriter, which are both things that I have, because I'm the luckiest girl in the world. So I would write in the bay window, but these windows would, of course, need to have really effective shades, because I don't like the light. All the time. I would like to be able to put the shades down and have dark when I want it. I'd have a king-size 4-poster bed, so hangings. I'd like to be able to be in my own little nook. And I would have red satin sheets and plenty o' pillows, because pillows are great. I like pillows and satin and beds, I guess. I'd have hardwood floors, I think. None of this laminate crap. but I would have plenty of like deep plush rugs, preferably red, to match my sheets. And I'd have a big closet with plenty of room for all the shoes that I hypothetically have in this cost is not a factor universe. I fucking love shoes. I'd have an attached bathroom, a big one. I'd have a jacuzzi. And I'd have bookshelves everywhere. And a reading nook. Like a place where I could just sit and read. And I'd have mostly ambient lighting. I don't like direct overhead lights. Like that one. I don't know if you can see it. There it is. I hate that thing. I almost never turn it on. So, there you have it. Way too much information about my life. And if this was entertaining for you, feel free to request another one. And leave me plenty of asks. And I hope you liked this. And I'll talk to you later. Have a good day.